Hello.
Hello, Clare.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Just noticed the sun's just come out, so that's lovely.
Nice.
Um, and I have a lovely word for you.
Do tell.
It's pause.
Yeah, what a wonderful concept to pause. I mean, it can mean it's really just a moment. It's not waiting, it's nothing. It's creating space. Yeah, a pause. Isn't that something we all could use maybe so much more of in our lives?
So much.
Yeah. There's so many gifts in a pause, which I do see as a space, unfilled space and time. That's where all the good stuff rises up. That's where our mind is quiet, our personal mind, or our thinking mind, and where there's room to, I was going to say express, but it's not the expressing, it's the impetus, the what rises up from deeper within us to then be expressed or followed or whatever it looks like, whatever the guidance is. Yeah. Yeah, a pause is something so natural, so everyday, yet it almost is elusive at times.
Hmm.
N- it because our minds are so freaking busy. There's so many things to do, one after the other after the other. We have a long weekend coming up here. It's Thanksgiving weekend here in Canada, and we're planning out. I had Sunday booked for just me to do some things that I've been wanting to do around here in the office. And then Rob and I started talking about the other. It's like, oh yeah, we were going to prep the camper for winter and put all of our kayaks away, and we're having Thanksgiving dinner and having our kids and their partners over, and one by one I saw all the moments fill up and I started to feel overwhelmed, and that there's not enough time and there's so much to do. And it's just when you said the word, I felt the space that I did eventually get yesterday. But let me tell you, there were so many things that from the moment we had the discussion to making supper, and then I needed to do this other thing, and that it was one thing after the other after the other. I really see now, of course, looking back, it's easier to see things looking back, how there were no pauses. And I felt in a rush that I needed to just get stuff done to maybe get a pause at the end. That's so crazy.
Mm.
Yet I know, because I've experienced it many times before, that when I do take that pause and really look at, really, who says, what's saying that I need to keep going? What's saying that I can't have a pause? And it's always that thinking, Yeah. Yeah, that's really good. I needed that pause. So thank you. Tell me about pause. Yeah.
Yeah, it's I just loved when I said the word and I could almost see you just going, just settling down,
Mm,
because even the word has got, I know words are the meaning we make out of them, but there's something about the word pause. It's almost onomatopoeic, isn't it? That it just sounds like how it feels.
yeah.
It's got a settling feeling to it. And it's something I'm really learning to do because, as you know, I go 150 million miles an hour. I put a post out on Facebook yesterday or the day before with an image that AI created for me of a brass band on roller skates, and then a little girl just kneeling down trying to play a flute, trying to be heard above them. And that's pretty much a representation of my mind, really, is, yeah, it just goes so fast. And I was in Grace Kelly, I was in her coaching clinic on Tuesday, and she was talking about doing what you love. And I asked a question. I said, yes, but what if you have lots of things you love and you have lots of ideas and they all look lovely and you look like you really want to do them all? And she sort of pondered for a moment. She said, well, that sounds like a busy mind. And I'd never really seen that all those ideas that sometime, and they are getting less. There's less at 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock in the morning. There is a lot less noise. And what I used to say was that the reason I got all that noise at 3 o'clock in the morning was because I didn't slow down, didn't pause enough during the day. And so therefore, when my mind went quiet and I stopped thinking, I wake up at 3 o'clock and the idea machine would start. and I thought, oh, that's my intuition waking up, and it isn't heard during the day, but it isn't. It's just, all those ideas are just evidence of how busy my mind is. It is just a very busy space. And I think pausing is one of those things that allows us to almost just step back from the busyness for a minute and just almost watch the brass band on roller skates go by. Off it goes across my awareness. It's not something I have to do anything about, but the pause allows the space to just go, yeah, actually, I don't have to do anything about that noise, but I also don't have to do all the things the noise is saying are to be done, because they invariably don't need doing. That's just a thought that they all need to be done. And they do, for a long time, I just thought, oh God, I've just got this amazing idea machine that just keeps going. Isn't that wonderful? And now I'm just like, shut up. Because I'd like to just hear the one idea that feels alive enough to follow. And, I think I notice more now, and now I notice like an hour later or a day later that I haven't paused enough, and I've heard there's been that nudge of wisdom, and I've not been going slow enough to hear it or to take it on board. And then the next day I'll go, oh yeah, I definitely heard that yesterday. And I had one of these on Tuesday? So on Monday I had this stinking toothache. I've got a couple of molars that are not fully emerged at the back, and sometimes stuff gets in them, and I think it's just like a gum infection. It wasn't really, no tooth needed pulling out or anything, but it wasn't pleasant. And I was due to have 2 fillings replaced on Tuesday morning, and all day on Monday I'm busy in a way, and I keep hearing this voice saying, do you want to just cancel that dental appointment tomorrow? It's not going to be pleasant having your mouth wide open while you've got this pain in your face, and then the messing about on the other side of your face. Maybe just cancel it. You don't need to go tomorrow. It's not urgent. These fillings just need replacing. They're just a bit holy. They're not the end of the world. So I go to, I walked stride down to the dentist on Tuesday morning for 9:30, which is the appointment I had in my diary, to find that I apparently had got, I think they got the time wrong. But anyway, they say I got the time wrong. The appointment was at 9 o'clock, so I've missed my appointment. So she went scurrying off to the receptionist and said, can you fit her in for these two for this replacement? So she can't. So how funny is that? That if I just listened enough and paused enough and slowed down enough and just sat with the idea of cancelling the appointment rather than listening to, you can't really cancel another appointment, you won't get another one and it'll take ages, and I would have cancelled that damn thing, and then I wouldn't have ended up walking to the dentist. I mean, and I just walked out of the dentist and I was literally chuckling away to myself because I just thought, just slow down, Claire. It's all there. Everything we need is there, and it's there actually in the pause.
Yeah.
Like you said, maybe there's an action to take or there's something to do, but I feel after the pause, when we're settled, when we're in that good feeling, there's so little to do. It's like it's just the next one thing, which for me would have been picking up the phone and cancelling the dental appointment. But there's a happy ending to this story, because I was then like, right, come on, Claire, like slow. So I slowly walked home through the park, and I got to the edge of the park, and there's an outdoor wear shop in my village, randomly, massive warehouse thing, just randomly plonked in my village, and it's called Go Outdoors. And I just thought, oh, you should. My walking boots are really on their last legs and need replacing. So I thought I'll go in and look at walking boots. And I've got some walking shoes, and I just want walking shoes made into, I want these walking shoes, but I want them as boots because they're just the most comfortable. I've loved them. They've been great. And I had a look at a few, and I just wasn't feeling the walking boot thing. And there wasn't, I also didn't have my walking socks with me. I only had trainer socks on, and you really do need to put your walking socks on, don't you? Anyway, so I stand there and I did what Grace Kelly would have loved this. I just said, so why am I here? Like, I just paused for a minute and like, why has my intuition brought me here? And I turn around. I get a bit emotional telling this story because it's just so cool. I turn around, and there is a massive pile of shoe boxes with walking sandals. And I'm going to Spain in a couple of weeks, and I haven't got walking sandals. I managed to get 20 quid for a pair of walking sandals that will be great. Right colour, picked my size up straight away, tried them on, fit perfectly, and walked out with a pair of walking sandals. And for me, that was just about, like, when I got to the junction and I heard this voice saying, go and have a look and Go Outdoors, I was a bit like, oh, I'm too busy. I have to go home and get some work done now. I'm wasting all this time not going to the dentist. So I must get, and then I just stopped. And I went, no, let's just go. And I've got the perfect walking sandals for my trip. So I just think all day, every day, there are these opportunities to slow the chuff down, really, and pause and give ourselves a chance to just hear what's next. And I mean, this feeds into the slow down to speed up. We're going so fast that we end up doing so many more things than we need to do because we're not doing the one thing that would move us forward in whatever that is, and if it's in the business or in our lives or whatever.
Yeah. That's a beautiful example of the gift of the pause. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. The gift. It is a gift, isn't it?
Indeed.
And maybe, like, what's just come to mind is, how we talk about, Jack Pronsky's quote's one of my favourite. All we are is peace, love, and wisdom, and the ability to create the illusion that we're not. Like, the essence of who we are is in that pause. Maybe the pause is part of that essence of who we really are.
Yeah, it's like it opens up the space for who we really are to be, to shine, to come forth. It's always coming forth. We're just missing it because we're so dang busy. We're not looking. We're not we're not looking for something to come from within. How many people would have stopped in the store, to say, why am I here? Because it is like you're opening up to something that's already come, that's already there, just waiting to rise up, to let you know, to guide you. Yeah, point you in the right direction. And maybe that direction is nowhere.
Yeah, maybe it's just continuing the pause a bit longer.
Yeah.
Like, particularly if you're feeling emotionally revved up,
Mm.
and you're about to do something or say something to somebody or send a message or whatever, you're like, I need to, I'm feeling a bit like the pause then might result in you doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Just taking care of yourself in that moment. And loving yourself really in exactly the state that you're in that moment.
Yeah. Yeah. It's beautiful. The pause.
I often say it's the only tool I ever, like you and I have stepped into this space perhaps where we're using less tools and techniques and things, but I used to use many, and I would say, like, I often say the only, like some people say to me, but how do explain the principles, people, but how, like the young lady that a young lady I spoke to recently who, but what do I actually do? And I said, well, the only thing I can really recommend is to just pause when you're feeling that overwhelm, when you're feeling like off in your body. The only thing I ever say to people is to just pause, just take a breath, feel your feet on the floor, give yourself a minute.
Yes. That's all you need. Really. Yeah. Beautiful, Claire. Thank you.
Yeah, that feels complete. Yeah, that was lovely.
Yeah.
I feel very paused now.
Me too. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yes.
I'll see you next time.
Will do.
Bye.
Ciao now.